Hey guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, October the 18th, 2011. This is Jennifer. I want to do a really quick rundown of what Talk to Me Tuesday is because I've had a lot of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks and I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Talk to Me Tuesday is a live journal community, ttmt.livejournal.com. All links that I mention in this video will be in my description, whether it's on LiveJournal or So Hooked or on YouTube. Anyway, so we are a live journal community and we are online crafters. We are people who are part of the online craft community. We each do weekly craft vlogs. We talk to each other. We talk about each other. So, and we are always open to new crafters to come along and jump in and do videos with us. We've made a lot of friends this way. When I started doing this, I want to say it was April of 2009. There was myself, and then we had a couple more people, and then it's grown, and now we have over a couple dozen people that participate, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to have sort of an interactive craft relationship with people and have more than just a name to go with the crafts that you see. So you get to know people, you get to know their style and what they do, and it's a lot of fun. So if you are watching and you want to join in, please join in and definitely join our live journal community. That's where most of our actual personal interaction happens. We'll post videos and then we talk to each other in comments. So on with the show. Sunday was my very best friend's birthday, Jules68. She is also a Talk to Me Tuesday vlogger. And I sent her a gift in the mail, which I can't show you because she already has it. So hopefully she'll show it to you in her Talk to Me Tuesday. I did take a picture, but the picture really doesn't explain what you're seeing or even do it justice. So it's something that is meant to be worn, and she already has it, so there are no spoilers or anything. Most of the things that I made last week or did last week, I don't have to show you because they're already gone. I did a big post on So Hooked on, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, that was all about the Linus quilts that I quilted last week. When I did Talk to Me Tuesday last week, I had the red and black and white quilt was quilted but not bound. I had Joanne M's quilt that a friend of mine had quilted, but it was not bound. I had 2 stars for Linus quilts that were not quilted, and I had the ugly quilt that was also not quilted. So on Wednesday of last week, I quilted 2 stars for Linus quilts. I free motion quilted all of these on my home machine. I free motion quilted the ugly quilt, and I put binding on 5 quilts. I had a couple questions about how in the world I got 5 quilts bound in one day. I learned years ago from other Linus volunteers that when you're making a quilt that's going to go to a child that's not meant to be a showpiece, it's meant to be washed and dragged around, it's a really great idea to machine stitch your binding on both sides. So what we do for most of our quilts, not everyone does this, but a lot of our quilts for Linus, this happens. And I did this for my own kids' quilts because, like my son's quilt, I knew it's going to be washed and dragged around, and the binding has really stood the test of time because it's not hand stitched on back. Anything that's incredibly special or a gift or a wall hanging or meant to be shown more than used, that I always hand stitch the back of the binding. But anyway, so what we do is we do a 2.5 inch strip straight of grain binding, French fold, and I will put some links in the description so you guys can find all kinds of great tutorials online. And if you're ever in doubt, the best resources that I've personally accumulated for just how-tos are on Fandom and Stitches. For those of you that are new today, I run several websites. I run sohook.com, fandomandstitches.com, and I'm the webmaster for linusconnection.org. So on Fandom and Stitches, on the help page, which you can find in the menu, there are tons of quilting resources, and some of those resources are for binding. So anyway, 2.5 inch strip, straight of grain, French fold binding. Instead, traditionally you stitch your binding to the front and fold it to the back and hand stitch it down. When I'm doing a quilt that's intended to be washed and used and used and used, I stitch my binding to the back and then I top stitch it to the front. And it finishes really lovely. It's not a showpiece. It's not something you would do on a quilt that you wanted to show or display. It's for a really usable quilt. And so that's how I got 5 quilts bound in one day. Post I did, I think on Sunday. Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. I did a post about all the Afghans and the other donations I got in the mail in the last week. I got a bunch of stuff in the mail in the last week that I haven't shown in videos. So I'm going to put a link to that so you guys can go see the quilts and go see the Afghans, because I got a lot of really cool stuff that all went to Linus on Saturday. Saturday was our big birthday and it was insane. We had more challenge blankets than we've ever had before. I'm pretty sure we had more people there than we've ever had before. We don't take a roll or do sign in or anything unless people are donating. So I don't have a head count, but it was crazy. We had so much food and just all kinds of amazing stuff. And anyway, there were prizes and presents and it was great. And we gave, our executive director was there. And as you guys know, her house burned down in the Steiner Ranch fires, which are just sort of northwest of where I live. So she lost her home and we made quilts for each person in her family. So in about a month, the Linus volunteers got together. I designed a block and then everybody made blocks and we made quilt tops. It was a super cooperative effort. A lot of people worked on the project. Different people pieced and different people quilted and different people bound and put labels on, etc. But anyway, we presented her with 4 quilts on Saturday. And I will also put a link to the Linus Connection blog post from our big challenge, because you have to go see. Our challenge fabric were mixed batiks and they were fantastic. The quilts were amazing. The yarn blankets were all beautiful. We used variegated yarns for our challenge yarn this year and just, it was fantastic. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. We had all this food left over and we're going, what are we going to do with all this food? And then one of the other volunteers mentioned, you know, there's a fire station across the street from here. So we bagged up all the food, and myself and another lady, we took all the food that was left. We had chocolate cake, we had cookies, we had chips, and we took it over to the fire station and gave it to the firemen because, well, firemen are awesome anyway. But Central Texas firemen have been working their butts off because of all the fires that we had in September. And so we felt like they deserved some cookies. And they were actually really excited that we had not only cake, but chocolate cake. So now that that's over, it's on to other things. I do have a big thing that I can probably tell you about next Tuesday because it's going to be announced on next Monday. So I'm really excited about that, but I can't tell you just yet. I will tell you about it next Tuesday. For this week, I have been promising my kids that I would work on their Halloween costumes, so I am. I did get some things done on Sunday, not a whole lot because I was pretty wiped out after Saturday. Saturday was just a really busy day. So I'm going to show you what I've done there. Gareth is going to be Ghost from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I think. I don't know. I'm not a gamer. I'm a quilter. That's how I spend all of my extra hours. So I really don't know a lot about games, and I only know what this character looks like and what my son would really like to look like for Halloween. So I stenciled this balaclava for him. It's a little scary, but this is what Ghost wears. He wears a balaclava and aviator glasses, and then he has headphones. My son wears glasses, and I have not yet found any sunglasses that will go over his glasses, and he is not trick-or-treating without his glasses on. So I'm looking for aviator glasses or something aviator glasses like. I'm thinking I might go to Lowe's or Home Depot and see if I can find some goggles that are slightly tinted, and maybe that'll work. The headphones, I have no idea. He wears like headphones that have a mic. And I don't want to buy a functioning pair of headphones, so I've been to a bunch of thrift stores and I haven't found anything. We don't have anything that looks even remotely like it. So I'm thinking about maybe using an old pair of earmuffs and recovering them with like I have some pleather from years ago when my daughter was Rogue from the X-Men, so I might just recover those and try to make them look like a pair of headphones. So anyway, so he wears the balaclava, the headphones, and he wears fatigues. We went to the Army Navy store and we got fatigues. He already had camo pants. I found a pair of combat boots for $7 at Goodwill. We bought him, actually I have it here. This is, I'm not entirely sure what this is called. The guy, ring it up at the Army Navy store as suspenders, but it's like a belt that I guess you put ammo or whatever on. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of black pouches and stitch those on here, and he wants to put his candy in them. Originally I was just going to make like little basically squared pillows and stuff them with polyfill, but he wants them to be functional so he can put his candy in there. So I'm going to try to make them functional. So we'll see. So that's this week. I'm going to alter this and make it look like the piece that Ghost wears. The other thing that I'm going to do for that costume is he wears, he's a British soldier, so he has the Union Jack on his shoulders. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get felt, just like inexpensive acrylic felt, and I'm going to embroider the Union Jack onto the felt and put those on the sleeve. I did look into buying patches, but they're like $5 each, and I need 2 of them. And I've already bought a jacket and this piece and the boots, and it's like, I don't want to invest another $10 when, I mean, it gets expensive really fast if you buy all the little pieces. So I'm trying to make as much of the rest as I can. And he was a character from Halo last year, so we're recycling his weapons. And I actually took apart some of what I did on his stuff last year and repainted. So that's going to work for that. So I don't have to buy any other props or anything. I just need to make all those little pouches. Elena is going to be Moroku from Inuyasha, which I mentioned last week, and part of that costume is a black kimono. And I did finish the black kimono on Sunday, and I don't want to show you the whole thing because it doesn't really come across in video. I'm sitting today, by the way, just because I thought it'd be a nice change. So here's the black kimono, and I'm still trying to figure out the outside robes, which has been a little bit of a point of contention with myself and my daughter. Here is the black kimono. Let's see if I can, I'm going to have to back up so you can see it. So you can see the sleeves. Sleeve. Moroku is an animated cartoon character. He's from a manga book called Inuyasha. And the problem that I'm having, he's a Buddhist monk, but he doesn't tie his overpiece like an actual Buddhist monk would. And part of the point of contention has been that I cannot physically make that piece look the way she wants and have it be one piece of fabric, which is traditionally it's one rectangle with some ties on it, but I can't make it work that way. So I haven't made the overpiece yet because we're still negotiating the best way to do that and make it. She wants to look as much like the character as she could possibly look because she wants to wear this costume to an anime convention and she wants to cosplay and she doesn't want it to be inaccurate. So I'm doing my best. But cartoon physics and fabric don't necessarily go together, and anybody else that's ever made a costume based on a cartoon character knows that garments don't necessarily lay the way they are drawn in cartoons. So anyway, I'm working on it, and she's going to kill me if she knows that I called him a cartoon character because he's anime. So that is most of her costume made. I'm actually working on, he wears like beads wrapped around his hand, and I had that completely made, and I used a 5mm stretchy cord, and the stretchy cord broke. So I have to restring the whole thing. I'm not really happy about that, but it won't take me a long time. I just don't have anything to put it on yet. I think I'm going to get fishing line or something because it is not, the stretchy cord is not doing it. I don't have anything else that's flexible enough because she has to wrap it around her hand as part of the costume. So we'll get there. I'm continuing to receive stars for Linus. I have 13 right now, and what I would like to do for the next blanket, I've done 2 that are set 3x4. I would like to do a bigger one that's set 4x5. So I'm going to try to get 20, and I've got until the 3rd week in November to get this one done. So I have plenty of time to collect, so if you haven't sent stars for Linus, please do. I'm just going to do it indefinitely. I'm just going to keep a running pot. I'm just going to keep adding to it, and when I have enough to make a quilt, I'll make a quilt. So that's it for this Tuesday. I hope that if you're a new viewer that you comment, either comment here or comment on So Hooked or on Talk to Me Tuesday Live Journal. If you are watching and you are a regular Talk to Me Tuesdayer, I hope you post a video this week. I watched all the Talk to Me Tuesdays last week in one lunchtime. So more videos this week would be completely awesome. I missed you guys. And don't forget, There and Back Again is still going on. It's going to keep going on for another year. So if you haven't made Gandalf yet, please consider jumping in and joining us in making Gandalf. That is on fandomandstitches.com. I will put links to all of these random things that I've mentioned in the description. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.